welcome back to another Thursday upload from your boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today we have another interesting holiday edition for you.
A lot of people ask us, hey, what do you get people for a gift if they're just getting into whiskey? So, for some odd reason, there's a fad when it comes to drinking the fine gentleman's spirit, which makes sense, right? However, a lot of people have questions about how do you start, where do you start, do you have any tips or tricks, any recommendations, etc. So we kind of compiled a quick list. If you know somebody who's very into whiskey and you want to get them a gift for Christmas or their birthday or whatever, then this is kind of like a go-to starter sheet, per se.
Yeah, a sheet that is a little bit more on the underrated side. So we'll come out at the top right now and say, if you're going to get somebody that's just getting into whiskey, something, we recommend a bottle of bourbon, obviously, or a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Figure out what they like, get them that. That's always going to be a safe bet. But this list that we compiled are going to be some maybe underlooked items that you can get them, or something that will intrigue them to maybe be a little bit more explorative in their whiskey journey. So that sounded super meta, and I don't really like that. But yeah, so do that. So we got a list here for you. We're going to start with number 5, obviously, because this is one of the ones that we are thinking is definitely a good idea. It might not be for everybody, but it is a pretty good idea. So we have reading material when it comes to buying something for a whiskey lover for the holiday times. Now, whiskey material can mean anything from Mike and I are bourbon stewards, which mean we took a test and we are certified in bourbon. If that's something that this person wants to either explore or be certified in, that can be an awesome gift too. It's through the Stave and Thieves Society, through Moonshine University, and it was what, $60, I think?
Correct.
So it's a cool thing to do. If you don't want to do that route and the person really isn't interested in becoming a steward or really wants to learn a little bit more about it, there are some awesome reading materials, such as The Field Guide to Whiskey by Hans Alfringa, and then also Pappyland by Wright Thompson. These are some cool books that go through whiskey history, go through, obviously Pappyland is specific to Pappy, but they're really cool reading material to get you more involved in the whiskey culture, learning more about whiskey from writers, authors, and people that know way more than you. So if you do want to get somebody something that for Christmas to expand their whiskey knowledge, the reading material is always a safe way to go.
This can be really fun because you can kind of tailor them to the specific person. Say they like to travel, then you can buy number 4 in a globe, right? So this one is a decanter for us, because this allows somebody to kind of enhance that experience within their home when they're hosting, and then, or they have their, close inner circle around, then they are sitting there and they said, I have a decanter. And it just kind of adds an element of, this is really fun for me. I'm falling in love with this whole industry and this whole vibe. And how can you make it better for them? So there's multiple decanters on the market. Just remember that a full bottle of whiskey is 750 milliliters typically. In that, there are decanters in the market that are sized below that. There's some decanters that only fit 610 milliliters. So you just want to be cognizant of what you're purchasing, just because you want to make sure that they can fit the whole bottle inside of the decanter. If the decanter is massive and you only have one bottle, you want to be cognizant of that as well, just because it may or may not impact the whiskey that's sitting in it. So decanters are a really good option. Their price ranges from very inexpensive to extremely expensive. It all depends on what you get, but very quick research. I mean, really, you can find them in any major store as well as online almost anywhere.
One thing you want to be careful of with decanters is that you get like a real crystal glass one. If you get a cheaper glass or a plastic one or something like that, you're going to be diminishing the integrity of the whiskey, because obviously whiskey is very acidic, it's alcohol, and you're going to be breaking down some of that container into your whiskey, and you don't want to do that. So if you're going to go with a decanter, we do recommend spending a little bit more money if you're going to get a real glass one, because that is going to house your whiskey in the most true form possible. Number 3 is a shaker set. Now, this one is pretty common in most houses, but if you are going to be maybe experimenting with some cocktails, you do want a nice shaker set to go along with it. You normally have those 2 cups, to the stainless steel cups to start mixing stuff in. You have the stir, you have the strainer, you have the there's an actual word for it. The jigger, is that what it's called? I think.
You're hysterical.
Nailed it.
We're not mixologists.
Clearly we're not. If you also are wondering what we're drinking right now, we made these out of the shaker set. And if you want to hear about our top 5 unique holiday cocktails, go back to last Thursday and check it out. But yes, so use it, get a shaker set. It's really cool. It makes everybody feel like a mixologist. You smack it and you shake it like like a tambourine,
and then it gets all over your sweater and your wall. Right. It's really fun.
Yeah, your bar is sticky for the next eon, but I mean, it's fine. So definitely get one. It's fun to use. It's cool to make cocktails for friends. I think that's the coolest part about a shaker set is when someone comes over, you can be like, you want a cocktail? I'll look up a recipe, go to our Instagram page and look up what cocktails we recommend, because it's literally every single Tuesday. So if you are that person, you want to impress your friends or just have a good time, go to our Instagram page, pick out a cocktail, make it. It's super simple. Shake it with your friends and then pour it and you're good.
Yeah, just do it responsibly. This is ideal because there's going to be people that do not want whiskey neat, and a large slow melt cube enhances a lot of the experience for a lot of people. And also having larger ice cubes allows you to do different things, like brand them with your name, so, and or initial, which is really cool. But it just adds another element to your hosting feather cap, basically, because now you're able to do way more things between pandering to everyone's likes, and then allowing them to enjoy whiskey the way that they want to, but then also it allows you to make more cocktails and things like that. So major stores like Marshall's, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, etc., they have the actual trays for a square and a sphere ice cube. Very inexpensive. You can pick them up and then start making ice at your home. If you have the branding ability with a brass brander, then you just pull the ice cubes out, let them sit for about 30 seconds on your counter, and then just press the brass into the ice cube and then brand your cubes, and then you can start making cocktails with branded ice cubes just to add another element to your game.
Super bougie.
It is. However, they're really nice because they're very versatile. They work extremely well. It's a very consistent ice cube every time, of course, and then it allows you just to present a gift that's inexpensive. Say it's what's that thing called? Like a Secret Santa?
Yeah.
If there's a cap, say it's like a company thing and they're like, hey, nothing over $20, then boom, perfect gift, especially for somebody that's just getting into the industry.
Yeah. And the reason that you want to use a big ice cube, one is it looks much better in your cup rather than like crushed ice or ice that you pull out from a ice cube tray like we did for these cocktails. But so when you have ice, obviously, the smaller the ice cubes are, the more you have to put in, the more surface area is going to be exposed to the room temperature liquid, which is going to make the ice melt faster, which is then again going to dilute your whiskey flavors even quicker than a slow melt large ice cube. So if you are going to go the route and you want your person in your life that is a whiskey enthusiast to enjoy whiskey maybe to the closest to neat as possible, we definitely recommend a small ice cube or a large ice cube tray, and it'll be linked in the description.
Boom.
Before we get to number 1, please let us know, is there something that you would like to purchase for somebody else? We can comment on it if we think it's a good idea. We are those type of people that we can respond to comments.
And we don't hide our opinion, so if it's a horrible idea, no, I'm just kidding.
Correct.
No, we appreciate all comments.
Yeah. But if you are new here and you are looking for extra content around whiskey, we upload every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at this point. Just a local podcast supporting small businesses and reviewing whiskey and doing these Thursday episodes. So if that is something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing.
Number 1.
So number 1, this is probably the most important when you are drinking whiskey in its most natural form. These are called Glencairn glasses. There are other types of glasses that do similar to what the Glencairn is, but the Glencairn is a specifically designed whiskey glass to improve your whiskey experience. It has a heavy base at the bottom that you can grab onto so your heat from your hand isn't impacting the whiskey. It has a bubble at the bottom, basically a full body at the bottom that where your whiskey is sitting in, and then it tapers off into a tight nose at the top. That way, when you're smelling your whiskey, all the aromas go to your nose instead of around your nose like a typical rocks glass. So if you're going to be enjoying whiskey in the proper way, we say proper, any way you enjoy whiskey is a good way to enjoy whiskey. Don't think that we're discounting anybody drinking it out of a rocks glass. But if you do want to enjoy it in the way that it's intended to, and to get all the smells, every experience correctly, we do recommend Glencairn glasses. They're on Amazon. I think you can buy like a 4-pack for $24 or something like that.
Yeah.
Super cheap.
A lot of people type in any search bar whiskey glass, and then a Glencairn may come up, but I don't know if they're going to have like the top pinging on the search because of analytics or etc. There are knockoffs. They're a different kind of a shape, but they generally look the same. We're going to save you that time. We're going to save you the research, and we're going to save you the headache. The Glencairn glass is the standard in the industry. It is the go-to. It is the one that you're going to have if you do any kinds of tours or tastings and flights and things like that inside of actual distilleries, regardless of where you are in the world. The Glencairn glass is the glass used in the industry, bar none, end of discussion, period. We did the research for you. Just go buy Glencairns if this is the idea that you have for that special someone that you have in mind of, I'm going to get them a couple glasses of etc.
So if you enjoyed today's episode, please remember to leave a like, a comment down below, and then also subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And if you are going to be trying any cocktails or any whiskey that we ever review, we definitely always say to drink responsibly. If you do want any of these products that we listed today, the Glencairn glass, the large ice cube tray, the whiskey books, the shakers, and the decanter, we will link recommended products in our description. So go down to the video description and check those out. And this has been the Thursday episode of Top 5 Unique Ideas or Underrated Ideas for a Whiskey Lover that is in your family that you're looking to get for the holidays. So thank you everybody for joining. Please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
Do not litter.
We're out.